Let me ask you something. How many times have you said yes when every part of you wanted to say no? Someone asks for a favor, and instead of being honest, you say, sure, no problem, even though it's a problem. A friend invites you out when you're exhausted, and you say yes to avoid disappointing them. A coworker hands you extra work, and you accept it because you don't want to look unhelpful. And afterward, you sit there feeling drained, frustrated, or even resentful. Not at them, but at yourself. Here's the truth people don't talk about enough. Every time you say yes to something you don't want, you're saying no to yourself. You're saying no to your peace, no to your time, no to your priorities, no to your mental health. And the worst part, most people don't realize that their fear of saying no is quietly destroying their confidence, their boundaries, and their happiness. But the good news is saying no is a skill anyone can learn. And once you master it, your life becomes clearer, calmer, and so much more in your control. Today we're breaking down the art of saying no without feeling guilty, how to protect your energy, how to stand up for yourself, and how to stop letting guilt dictate your decisions. Let's get started. Understand why you struggle to say no. Now, before you learn to say no, you have to understand why it feels so hard. Most people struggle because of three things. 1. Fear of disappointing others. We want to be seen as good, helpful, likable. 2. Fear of conflict. We imagine the other person being upset or angry. 3. Fear of being judged. We think saying no makes us selfish or rude. But here's something important. Saying no doesn't make you selfish. Saying no makes you self-respecting. People who respect themselves value their time, their peace, their priorities, and they protect them. Once you understand that guilt is just a habit, not a truth, everything becomes easier. Realize that no is a complete sentence. You don't need paragraphs. You don't need excuses. You don't need to over-explain. No is enough. Confident, healthy people say, no, I can't. No, not today. No, I'm not available. They don't turn it into an apology tour. Remember, people who benefit from your lack of boundaries will always be upset when you set them. But that's their reaction, not your responsibility. Know your limits and protect them. You can't say no if you don't know what your yes is for. Ask yourself, what are my priorities right now? What do I want to focus on? What drains me? What energizes me? What am I willing to tolerate? And what am I no longer willing to tolerate? Confidence in saying no comes from clarity. Once you know what matters to you, you stop giving your time away to things that don't align with your life. Practice the pause before saying yes. One of the biggest reasons people say yes too quickly is because they respond instantly. Try this instead. Let me get back to you. Let me check my schedule. I'll let you know later today. This pause gives you time to think, evaluate, check your priorities, and listen to your emotions. Most people don't have a yes problem. They have an answering too fast problem. Slow down, think, then respond. Use gentle but firm phrases. You don't have to be harsh. You can be kind and firm at the same time. Here are some powerful no phrases that feel respectful and natural. I'd love to help, but I can't right now. That doesn't work for me. I'm focusing on other priorities right now. I don't have the bandwidth for that. I can't commit to that, but thank you for thinking of me. Unfortunately, I have to pass. These phrases protect your energy while maintaining respect. And stop apologizing for having boundaries. Notice how often people say, I'm sorry, but I can't. Sorry, I just don't have time. Sorry, I'm so busy. Apologizing signals that you're doing something wrong, even when you're not. You're not guilty, you're not mean, you're not selfish. You're simply prioritizing your well-being, which you have every right to do. Replace I'm sorry with, thanks for understanding, thank you for asking, I appreciate it. Confidence begins when you stop apologizing for existing. And understand that people will adjust. When you start saying no, some people won't like it. Not because you're wrong, but because they were benefiting from your lack of boundaries. But here's what always happens. Once you say no enough times, people learn how to treat you, what to expect from you, what you tolerate and what you don't tolerate. People don't need more explanations, they need consistency. And with time, they adjust. Don't say yes out of fear or obligation. Ask yourself before you say yes, am I saying yes because I want to or because I'm scared of saying no? If fear is the reason, that's not kindness. That's self-abandonment. Saying yes out of obligation leads to resentment, burnout, exhaustion, bitterness, feeling used. Saying no out of self-respect leads to clarity, confidence, peace, and healthier relationships. Your no protects you. Your yes should reflect your truth, not your fear. Give yourself permission to put yourself first. Most people feel guilty saying no because they've been conditioned to put everyone else first. But here's the truth. You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't help others when you're drained. You can't show up for people when you're exhausted. Taking care of yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. This is your life, your time, your energy, and you're allowed to protect it. Let go of the guilt. Guilt shows up because you're breaking old patterns. But every time you say no to something that drains you, you're saying yes to something that grows you. Remember this. You're not responsible for other people's reactions. You're not required to fix every problem. You're not obligated to meet every expectation. You're not defined by how much you sacrifice. The guilt fades as your self-respect grows, and it will grow. So saying no is one of the most powerful forms of self-love. It's not a rejection of others, it's a commitment to yourself. It's saying my peace matters, my time matters, my energy matters, my life matters. And the beautiful thing is, once you learn to say no, your yes becomes more meaningful. You show up with more energy, more clarity, more honesty, and more confidence. So take this as a reminder. You don't need permission to protect yourself. You don't need to justify your boundaries. You don't need to feel guilty for choosing yourself. The art of saying no is really the art of respecting yourself enough to do what's right for you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.